right, everybody, this is our first weekly installation of our Chat with a Coach series. So every week we're going to bring on one of our amazing FranCoach coaches to talk about one of their recent clients and a deal that we have helped with at FranCoach. So this week we have Lisa joining us. Hi, Lisa.
I'm excited.
I'm so happy you're here. So Lisa's client just signed with the franchise PuroClean. And Lisa, I'd love to know a little bit more about what, your client was doing before he came to work with us at FranCoach.
Yeah, that's a great question. So he had been retired from the Department of Defense for exactly 6 weeks once I had first chatted with him, and he was bored, number one, already in retirement. And two, he knew he wanted to take his retirement that he had, saved up for all of those years and turn it into an asset that was going to continue to create income for not just him, but his family down the line.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And would you say that you work with a lot of clients who are retired or retiring? Is that something common we see in franchising?
Yes, absolutely. And we see them like fresh out of retirement. It does not take long for them to realize, like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, and I need to do something. But I think the best part of that is it could be the passion project at that point because they've already kind of done the career. Yeah.
Totally. And
Yeah.
Lisa, you and I have talked about this a little bit before, but I would love if you could shine some light on this for our viewers too. Something really interesting about this client to me is that he really wanted to put his retirement funds to use. So can you tell anybody watching this video a little bit more about how franchising can be a great investment to, that you really have control over?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one thing we say about franchising in general is you're going into business for yourself, but not by yourself. So you have those, yes, guardrails to help you along, right? Franchises are proven to be more successful than businesses that are made, from scratch. So why not have that extra safety net for your retirement?
So your client came to us here at FranCoach, and when a client works with us here, we lead them through what's called a discovery process. So Lisa, I was hoping you could tell clients a bit more about what to expect from the FranCoach discovery process.
Yeah. So, well, for the FranCoach discovery process in particular, it's a three-step process where we really get to know you. We say we want to build out that dream scenario for you and what this could look like. And we know dream scenario sounds cheesy, but that's what business ownership is all about, right? Like just living your dream on your terms and, having us match you with the team who has the similar schools of thought.
And then let's talk a little more about this client in particular. How did the discovery process go for him? Was there any challenges or hurdles that came up along the way? And how did you guys navigate that together?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there always is, right?
Mhm.
And we kind of break down those challenges into two different categories in is this a deal breaker or do we need more information? So kind of deciding, which one of these things that it is, right? And if it's just more information, let's seek that out, whether it's from the franchise or do we need to bring another resource in to get clarity on what we're looking at here. So I would say that was one of the biggest challenges throughout the discovery process. And also that my client really enjoyed two different brands. So kind of deciding between two different brands was the biggest challenge, I think, for him in this.
So what led you to introduce this client to home services? And I guess something I think maybe people might be wondering about is when you talk to a client, how do you know what industry might be a good fit for them?
Yeah. So I think initially, we don't, right? It's getting to know them. In our process, we do a 1 hour long call called the assessment call, where we get down to the nitty gritty and talk about all the details. And, I always tell people the more open you are with me, the more I can help you. So let me know if you have, weird habits that you do at work to keep yourself organized or whatever it is, like, let's talk about it, right? Like, that's how we find that really great fit for you in doing that. I think it's also our relationships with the franchises, right?
Mhm.
We've seen behind their curtain, we know what they're looking for, so we can help kind of connect those dots.
Absolutely. I think that's something we talk about so much at FranCoach is having that behind the scenes sort of knowledge that you really can't Google all of this stuff, right? Like your client came to you, maybe had done some research before, but still really benefited from the guidance that, he got from working with Lisa to get a deeper, more detailed picture of certain franchises that he was interested in.
Yes, 100%. We do that vetting for them, right? That pre-vetting.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. I think pre-vetting is such a good word for it, right? Because you can do all kinds of research, but ultimately there are just some kind of proprietary information that you can't know when you're just Googling out there, right?
Right.
You just can't.
Absolutely.
This client ended up going with the franchise brand PuroClean.
Mhm.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that brand shortly.
Yeah.
Um, but I just wanted to know from your perspective, Lisa, was this like the right fit? How did it feel for the client to find a brand that they were really excited about?
Yeah. Yeah. What's funny about that is it wasn't until I called Peter to congratulate him and ask him how he felt now that it was all done. And the first thing he said was, I feel relieved. So he's made this huge investment, gone into something completely new, and he feels relief. If that's not the sign of a good fit, like I really don't know, what is, right?
Yeah, that is so true.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you, Lisa. I've loved hearing about your experience working with this client.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on Chat with a Coach.